Last thing that you have refined within your life. I just read the book Atomic Habits. So what I'm looking for is newest habit that you've brought in that's brought you either joy or just some metric that you're trying to increase within your life.
I teach this thing called being great at the 8. Okay, and it's 8 areas of life that we are called to steward and take care of and everything else. So I'm teaching this, and one of those has to do with health. So I'm teaching this. I said, man, I'm teaching all these people this, and I'm not practicing this myself. I'm like, I need to do something about this. So my oldest son is 29. He is ripped. I mean, he's lost almost 50 pounds over the last 3 years. And I mean, he looks like, he's chiseled and everything else. And I was like, you know what? I can't be teaching this stuff if I'm not practicing this stuff myself. So the first of this year, I got with him and say, I want you to beat the crap out of me, and I want you to hold me accountable, and I want you to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And if I kind of fall off the wagon, you need to call me out on it.
Yep.
So physically,
what did he say? My pleasure.
He did.
Like, Dad, I've been waiting for
yeah.
you to
Well,
say
I
that.
give him a hard time because he looks just like me, and
Yeah,
I
he
look
does.
a lot younger than I really am, and he looks a lot older than he really
That
is.
is true.
So every opportunity, someone will say, "It's like, so you're the older brother," and you. I say, "Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely loved it." I ran into someone the other day. He goes, "Hey, I ran into your brother Tyler the other day," and I was like, "Yep, call him and tell him that you ran into David, his older brother." But man, I really felt very convicted about that. I said, "You know what? If I'm going to teach this stuff, I'm going to do this stuff."
Yeah.
So to date, I'm in the gym 3 days a week, and I'm walking 25 miles a week. And I've lost 27 pounds.
Wow,
with
what-
20
look
more
at
to
there.
go. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
You do
so,
look
so
good.
now I got 2 more. I think so.
Well, you wearing that extra small shirt. I was like, dang.
You got that medium on, man.
It's a little medium. Medium's a good size, you know. So
Yeah.
you get older, you got to do stuff like that, you know. So
Yeah, well, I'm the same way. Like mine would be, I've paid attention to what I'm eating because like carbs at my age, it just puts me out. Like if I'm like, all right, I'm going to eat pizza. What am I doing afterwards? Like I would never eat a pizza for lunch because I'm snoozing a couple hours later. So just, I just getting older. Like I can't eat like I'm 20 years old anymore.
No. Yeah. So it's funny. I was doing that exact same class about 4 months later, and a lady that had been to the first one came to this one, and she brought like 5 people with her. And I was on this topic, and you never. It was a smaller group, so people just talk sometimes, and they're like, "I knew you looked different," and I was like, "The perfect opportunity." I was like, "Look, guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm struggling just like you guys are, and I mess up just like you guys are. But there's no way that I'm going to teach up here as an authority if I'm not practicing these things myself." So it was good. That's
I love
it.
that.
That's
What's one thing that
We're all in the same space of it. So for me, I went and sought to 3 times a week, double the amount of time that I was spending on my workouts. So, historically I'm a big rower. So that's usually somewhere in the space of like 30 to 45 minutes. So on that part of it, just doubling down and trying doing that 3 times a week.
Yep.
But it's so interesting, as we age, right? The reasons that we're doing these things, I find that for me, it's just mentality.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
It's something that I'm able to do for myself in the morning of the day. I've been spoiled down here being able to jet to the Y, and I was like, oh, there's this like social element. I mean, I'm always I'm on the phone FaceTiming or grabbing YouTube while I'm working out, but I was like, I think the human interaction piece. So I'm going to take these 3 days, continue to do them the way I am, and then 2 days a week I'm going to try and hit up a summer hit. I'm going to hit up a gym.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So
Well, something too. So as we thought, and we're just talking, right? This is I'm trying every week to do hard things.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I just want to do hard things this week. And it's just like, just to do it. I've never done this before.
Have you ever done hard time? Put that on your list.
Is that on the record or off the record?
Yeah.
So I've never done this. I was like, I've never done a full ice bath. And I got 4 bags of ice and put it in our bathtub.
Yes.
I said, I'm freaking going for it. I got in there and
How was it?
The first 20 seconds, like, what the heck am I doing? I was like, okay, I'm actually this is actually not bad, so.
Yeah, your body starts like shutting down.
It's
like,
yeah. So trying to do hard things every week, once a week. So
I love it. I love it. So one of my pet peeves that I've talked about on the podcast is when there are opportunities and people do not take them.
Yeah.
It drives me insane.
Yeah.
And so today we're going to jump into the podcast. We're going to talk about the 7 opportunities that leaders. God, what's the title of this thing? What?
7 ways that leaders seize opportunity.
Oh, let's get into it. All right, let's go. All right, today we got a special guest on the podcast, and this is his 3rd time. This is your 3rd time because you were on the 4th episode.
Oh, okay. Thanks for not inviting me to the first one. Go
That was my wife.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You're forgiven then. For that.
And it was part 1 and part 2.
Okay.
And so 4th episode, and I want to say like 7th, it was one a little further down. So I think we're up in like the 70s, maybe low 80s. Really? Awesome. I don't know when this is going to be released. So excited to have you here. Let's go ahead and jump into today.
Great to be here, man.
Evan, you spoke to it really well. It's so interesting, when you're able to look at life and it's if you think of like life like a game, right? And all of a sudden the game presents you with this thing and you're like, oh, you just got to jump a little bit for it.
Yeah. And
people just walk right underneath it, aren't even aware of it, aren't looking up at it.
Yeah.
So the thing I'm excited to distill here is, in our salon companies, if we get too much in the minutia in the day to day, we miss these things. So I think it's, having the mindset and having a few different ways to prime it. So let's jump in. What do you begin with? What's the thing that you think is like number 1 within this opportunity?
So number 1 is got to be passion is the leader's fuel. Is passion. I actually had a dinner last night with a guy about 3 years ago. He sold his company for $25 million. So we talked a lot about passion last night. And one of the things that we talked about was, I said, man, I've led different organizations and I've led them in 2 different ways. One way is the right way and one way is the wrong way. One way is like I had experience in leadership and I was passionate about it. The other way was I have experience in leadership and it's just whatever. There's a massive difference between those 2 things. Experience is important. We're always gaining experience as we do things. But passion is the fuel that pushes you to the next level in your organization. And I would tell anyone listening, if you're not passionate what you're doing, you need to be doing something else. Because not only are you not fulfilling your purpose and you're not getting joy in what you're doing, but your team is going to recognize it. I'll tell you 2 quick examples of this. One I was passionate about. We encountered an issue or a problem. Passion pushed me through that problem. Sure. We're going to do it. Well, yep, everything's like on the line here. We don't know what we're going to do. This may not work. I don't care. I'm going to make this happen. We're going to make this work as a team.
Yep.
The other one, you get a resistance and you're not passionate. I was like, just one more thing. And the weight of being in something that you're not passionate about will completely destroy you.
Yeah.
So passion is definitely the leader's fuel. And another thing, and we're going to talk about this in a second, but a lot of the things that we're going to talk about are very contagious type things. Passion is a contagious thing because most people aren't.
Yep.
But most people don't want to follow someone that's not passionate about what they do. And so I'd say absolutely number 1 is you need to be passionate about the thing that you're doing. If it's a salon, if it's a business, if it's a nonprofit, whatever that may be.
A lot of salon owners, running a small business is very taxing, right?
Yeah.
What if they were like, I was passionate at one point, I'm not as passionate now? What's some things that you would walk them through? A lot of salon owners are behind the chair full time, and they're running the business, and they're doing the account. They're doing all the things.
Yeah. So I've been there, and that's a whole other podcast in itself just right there. But let me just kind of say it this way. As a leader, if you're not getting yourself margin and position to kind of look at the bigger picture of what you're doing, it's kind of that whole idea of like, I'm working in my business or am I working for my business? So what am I doing or on my business? I've got to have opportunities where I'm working on my business. I have a real estate company and I actively sold more so in the past than I am right now. And I would get so caught up and I'm showing houses, I'm showing commercial buildings, showing this. I completely forgot why I even started the company. And the company was failing because of that. So as the visionary, you have to be the one that's overseeing. Now you can be in it because there's value in being in it as well too, because you learn the inner workings of it. But if you are spending all your time there, it's very easy to lose your passion.
That's really good because like I look back at like my life and like coaching independently by myself, there was things that I was just really not as great at.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're not all that detailed, right?
Yeah.
We will both admit that.
Say that, man.
And then, cause I worked with you.
Yeah,
and then like Christopher, like he had his strengths are my weaknesses.
Yeah.
And like having that and starting to, move things that I'm not as passionate about. Now there's things as leaders we just have to do, right? Yeah. And to find out like, hey, where am I passionate about? And like, sometimes you got to suck it up and do it. But there's times where it's like, you know what? In this season, we're going to do it for this season. Like for instance, social media. I'm doing social media for the Refined Network. Am I passionate about it? I enjoy it at some point. It's kind of like cutting grass. I like cutting grass when it's on my terms, but when it's like, I cut grass twice a week in the heat, I'm like, okay, I don't love this. But as leaders, we have to do that. So,
Gotcha.
what's the second one?
Second one we're going to talk about is a willingness to take the initiative on something. Taking the initiative. Leaders go first. We know that, right? Here's the reality is about taking the initiative. One of the things I've used a lot with my children, my older boys, or our organization is this. Some people get to this place where they don't want to take any movement. It's that paralysis by analysis type deal, right?
Yep.
So my youngest son is 23, and he's trying to figure out what he's supposed to be doing and everything else. And I've used this with every single one of our children, but I've also used it with business owners too. You just have to start. Just start. And the example I gave is this, is like if you're sitting in your car and you crank the car and you start trying to steer it without moving, what happens? It's really hard to steer it, isn't it?
Yep.
But when you start pressing the gas and you start moving, you can course correct.
Yep.
And leaders so many times kind of get in this place where I got to have everything perfect. Everything's got to be set up exactly right or whatever. You're never going to get there.
Correct.
And I see so many leaders fail in this is they just take a step and just start taking steps. The best way to be successful at something is start.
Yeah.
And so many people don't want to start. So leaders take the initiative in what they do. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I think a lot of times we're afraid to fail.
And, well, I mean, and tying that back to the first point, right? So like you talked about it, when you get into something and you realize you're like, gosh, you know what? I'm burned out. My passion's low. What is just the first step? The first step, I mean, you already shared it, right? Having dinner with mentors, that's a first step, right? And the encouragement would be is like, just reach out, right? You never know who might give you some of their time, right? On the other part of it, shameless plug, Leaders Retreat, right? Do something that gets you out of your business for a quick moment. Surround yourself with people that have similar problems to you. And again, you go to those places of like, oh, I got the idea. I don't know what the end of it might look like, but I at least know this first step to correct this. So yeah. I love that one.
And that's an opportunity.
Yep.
I was talking to someone. I'm like, hey, if you're looking for ways not to come to the Leaders Retreat, you will find them.
Yep.
But like, it's an opportunity. You're either going to take it or not, but don't complain a year from now when you're doing the same thing.
Here's the thing too with that is, and I've been able to sit in some of those leader retreats. When you get around people that have the same mindset as you, that really want to make a difference and move an organization forward, and you're around other people like that, that's going to help you take a step. That's going to help you push the gas of your vision of what it looks like.
Yep.
And that, I mean, another shameless plug, give me $20 for this, but I'm telling you, getting around people that aren't afraid to take those steps and take the initiative is one of the best things you can do, and it can be a catalyst for your organization going to the next level.
Oh,
no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, it kind of gets you're like in the weeds and you pop up and you see other people that are popping their heads up, and then you're having those conversations. It's like, oh, you're further along than me.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, you're doing. Oh, we could implement that.
Yeah.
You know? So
it's
by the way,
so good.
Most people aren't going to do this.
Yeah,
they'll get, and then they're not going to do it. You just got to start.
Love it.
Yeah.
What you got next?
Third one, I love this one. I have a whole talk about this, but it's living in and seeing the what if instead of the what is. The what if instead of the what is. Only the person that can see the invisible can accomplish the impossible. Only the people that can see the invisible can accomplish the impossible. That is what I talk about, living in the what if instead of the what is. Because let's think about it. The what is like where you are. That's what you can see, right? Whatever, if it's your salon, if your organization, this is the what is. And here's what we have to do with the what is we have to embrace it. We have to own it. This sucks. This isn't right. This is where we are, but this is not where we're staying. We are moving forward, and leaders are the ones that do that. They become the visionaries. And by the way, if you're the visionary of your organization, you cannot delegate that. It is your responsibility to be the one that casts that vision about what the what if is. And you know what? You're going to find that people love following you if you can do that. So very important there is you got to live in that what's the what if there.
Yeah, I love that. I've always heard that leadership is looking around the corner and telling everybody what's coming up.
Yeah.
You know, so I love that.
Yeah.
Gosh, I could have used that yesterday on a call I had. It literally
use it and claim it, man.
It
$20.
applies.
Yeah.
It applies so perfectly though. And I think in those moments, like when someone can't see, right? When you're trying to equip someone, they can't see it yet. Moving that conversation. And it's exactly that. I'm hearing that you're saying that you can't. I'm hearing that you're saying it's impossible.
Yeah.
But what if it wasn't?
Yeah.
And what might you glean from the experience on the way there?
That's right.
Right.
Beautiful.
Failure is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It teaches you so much.
Absolutely does.
Ugh. All right.
Well, and you know, as a leader, you're right. People want to follow somebody like with a positive attitude. Somebody's a visionary. This is where we're going.
Yeah.
And because I feel like culture right now is just like, oh, this sucks. The economy sucks. The government sucks. This sucks. It's like, why would you want to show up to work with someone like that? Like, I want to go work, not somebody that's just rainbows and unicorns all the time.
Right.
But like, hey,
this is what it is. This is what it is now.
This is where we're going.
Yeah.
And we say it time and time again. It's like your business is an airplane. The pilot tells you where you're going, how long it's going to be, and what's it going to be like when they get there.
Yeah, that's right.
And as leaders, we have to do that.
That's exactly right. You want to go to number 4?
Yeah, let's go to number 4.
So number 4 is leaders get maximum value from what their available resources are right then. I've thought a lot about this, and I thought about when I started my real estate company again, and there was no resource. There's basically no resources at all. There's not a lot of money. There's no people. There's no anything. So you learn something in the early stages of a business. How can I maximize the X amount of dollars I have in my bank account, X amount of energy that I have, and I'm going to truly maximize that. And I'm going to tell you something. It builds something inside of you that will take you further and faster than you would ever believe before. On the other end, what I've seen is businesses that are over-resourced, and they have all the staff, they have all the money. They usually fail because you don't build that grit as a leader. You can't be creative in your thinking. And there's just something about that process in you that develops something in you that takes you further faster than those organizations that are over-resourced. Now, you can't stay there, obviously, right? But even not just you, but the people you begin, my first hire was like, what's my job description? I was like, we're just going to do everything.
Yep, everything.
Your job description is everything.
Yep.
I mean, you're saying it right now. Social media. Well, you're better at it than I am. So guess what? You're going to do it. And we're going to get to a place where we're going to hire it out or hire somebody to do it or something. But right now we do everything, because what happens is so important here is when the leader does it and you're part of it, even when you delegate it, the DNA of the organization begins to kind of infiltrate its way and into other people as you do it. If you just like hire it out and you say, go do it, what happens is you've got 5 visions going on in your company instead of 1. But when you're able to do it and you're able to kind of put the DNA of your vision into your organization, that makes for a successful organization.
I've been looking at this in the list of what we're going to go through, and this one I was so excited to hear what you were going to say on it, and the way that you articulated that, it took me like all the way back to high school and thinking I grew up poor, and the things when I would see people wasting resources, right? Like the kids that like I'd be like, man, they have everything, highest level coaching, best gear, right? All the things that should be like create success, and they squandered it,
Yep.
right? And I think that's such an interesting thing that you say, David, because I look at it in those moments when you just have to figure it out. I mean, we built this thing on sweat equity. There's so many things within the Refined Network that were like, well, we have the vision, and I mean, we're both figure it out people, right? And I think it's so important to challenge yourself in those areas and embrace the suck.
Yeah.
I was on a call yesterday, and they're like, I just don't want to do that. And I was like, do you understand how the world works?
Yeah.
Do you know? And like, I was like, Chris, shut up. You don't get to go into like saying all the things you don't want to do, because I wouldn't say that. I'm still getting to do those things. Do I enjoy it as my natural calling? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
However, are we at the point that it's required for the organization to have success? Absolutely. So, you took me on a journey. I mean, I snapped back to high school and I'm back here.
We worked at a church together, and when we did not have the funds to do something, on a Sunday, the most creative stuff came when we didn't have a lot of the resources.
100%. I mean, we can talk a lot about this. So just for context, where we served together, it was the largest load-in, load-out campus in the country. We had over 5,000 people coming, 1,200 volunteers, and we literally had people showing up at 4 o'clock in the morning, setting up, tearing down, and everything else. We had the healthiest volunteer culture of any of the campuses. We were the most creative of any of the campuses. Campuses were coming. I had a lot of an outstanding team.
We had a solid team.
But I was like, hey, figure it out. I remember we had one guy come in one time, and he had come in from one of our other campuses. They were over-resourced everything, and he came on staff. And a huge challenge came up on Wednesday. He came in it was like his first week. He comes into my office on Monday. He goes, so they just told me that we can't have this room and everything else. I was like, man, looks like you got a big problem to solve there. He was coming in for a solution. I said, no, you figure it out. And it built something in him that made him a better leader. And part of me is like, I'm glad I don't have that problem. That's your area, man.
Yeah,
ultimately it was my area.
We would just put up pipe and drape and say, there's your room right
There's
there.
your room right over there.
Yeah, when you were talking about that, one thing that popped up is we do an annual pool party for our team. And this year we had to switch it up because we had to go to another pool. So we're going to my parents' pool. Well, we want to be resourceful. We're looking at because we're closing down on a Friday, which is a busy day for the salon. So we're already losing income, but we're teaching our team hey, we value culture. So we have one of our stylists hey, my husband's gonna can he come and make tacos? And her mom is Mexican. It's hey, she's going to make rice and beans. And people are just starting to, and I'm like, that's so great for the culture. Could we spend a lot of money and go to a place, walk in, do it, and then walk out? Yeah, we could, but I guarantee you this is going to be way better. And looking at the Salon Leaders Retreat, we could talk for 3 episodes on being resourceful at the Refined Network. We were looking at something yesterday and we're like, this would enhance it, but it's $59 a month. And we went back and forth. We got $59 a month. But it was just funny that we're sitting there going, this is $59 a month. Is there any other, just being resourceful, and we could just, if a larger company that was very resourceful had been hey, here's the app, here's $25,000, build the app exactly how we want it. But we're being resourceful and it's working.
All right. Hey, shameless plug. We want to continue to serve. Check out the App Store. Type in The Refined Network. It's available both on Apple and Android. Here's the thing. It's a way that we can continue to serve you. All of our podcasts, all of our digital resources, and our community is there. Here's the thing. We believe that we're better together. Back to the episode.
All right, what's the next one?
Next one, I love this one. And I mentioned a second ago, being courageous is contagious. Leaders, listen, you can be the catalyst to take your organization to a level it's never been before by your courage. I made a commitment when I was 30 years old. Is I'm going to be brave. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Most people aren't. So when they see someone that is, they're going to follow. Most people's like, I want to play it safe. I want to just, this is how that's going to be or whatever. I've been with a lot of people at the end of their life. You know what they've never said? I'm so glad I played it safe my whole life. I've never heard anyone say that. And if we can understand as leaders, as the ones going first, that that one risk that we take could take our organization to a whole new level, but it helps others be courageous too. You want people in your organization taking risk and being courageous. And sometimes they won't do it because their leader's not doing it.
Oh, yeah. They're not going to just automatically do that. And if they do, they're probably a better leader than the actual leader, and that's not going to work.
You know what's going to work? They will not be at your organization much longer.
Yeah. So you probably know more about this than I do on John Maxwell. He says 1 to 10 as a leader.
The lid, yeah.
8s don't work for 6s.
No.
They'll be capped off. The 6 will, and the 8 will go do their own thing. I might have said this on the podcast recently, but if they don't do it with you, they'll do it without you or something like that. It's the same thing. But yeah, I mean, I wish Erin Silver was here right now. My wife, I'm telling you, the past year and a half, she's been a total different person, and she's been correct. I mean, the vision she has for her company,
I love that.
It scares her to death.
Yeah.
But the team rallies around that.
Of course they
and
do.
She's like, hey, you can make 6 figures. And the stylist is like, I've only been doing hair like for 10 months. It's like, you can do it by the end of this year.
Yeah. And it's wild, dude. Literally this morning, the quote that she shared about that too. Hey, the perception of this is when someone else sees someone winning, they think they're losing, right? Mm-hmm. And that's just not the truth. And like, that's what you're seeing in your organization right now. You're seeing some people have some catalyst to them, right? In really doing things faster than other people in the company. And it's interesting because like, as we talk about, the law of the lid, right? I believe that if you are a 6, I actually do think that you can have an 8 work with you, right? Mm-hmm. But then you have to be looking at that and saying like, hey, your leadership potential in what you're wanting to show up, you got it more than me. I'm going to give you point. Yeah. Right. Because that's the interesting thing. Like when you're at the ownership level, I think it's something that's really, really key. If you forget your ego, you actually can go wherever the hell you want within the organization. Yep. It actually doesn't matter. Yeah. Right. So when we think about that, and you're exactly right, man. Erin,
can you imagine being in a meeting, y'all? And it's like, okay, guys, this week we're going to kind of do what we did last week. And the next meeting, we're going to kind of do what we did last month. Or you're going to say, guys, this may make no sense, but you know what? We live one time. We are freaking going for this. This is what we're going to do. I don't have all the details figured out. Let's go for this. Who's with me on this? Huge difference.
Yeah.
I've been like, even you can see this at the neighborhood pool. You see this kid is scared to jump off the diving board, and all of his buddies are jumping off the diving board. He goes, I want to be, that looks like a lot of fun. I want to be a part of something like that. And all of a sudden they get the courage to be able to jump and say, you know what, it's just built in us to be, I'm going to play it safe. I'm not going to take a risk or whatever. But when we see others do it, either 2 things happen. It's like, well, I guess I'm just going to let them have all the fun, or it's like, forget it. I'm jumping in. I'm doing this.
1,000%.
So it's just a courageous thing. There's a lot of things that as a contagious thing. There's a lot of things that are contagious. By the way, fear is one too. And yeah. So you get in a room with a bunch of fearful people, and you're not a fearful person. Guess what? You're going to probably turn a little bit fearful.
Gosh. And
get around people that are going to just go for it. Just go for it.
So true.
Yeah.
And when you find yourself in a space of fear, it's you can sit in that. I call it fear setting. Yeah. And it's interesting because like then you're going back to that what if mentality. Hey, even if the worst thing happens that you're sitting in right now, then what?
That's right.
You're still going to be okay.
Yeah, I use this analogy in one of our workshops, but talking about positivity and negativity, which you could take courage and fear. And I show this small, little, happy, positive dog and this Rottweiler, like showing its teeth, angry, negative dog. And I say, which one is, I ask the the people in the workshop, I'm like, hey, which one do you, if they got in a fight, would win? People are like, oh, the negative one. The negative. I'm like, why? It's big. It's strong. It's mean. And there's always one person that says the positive dog. You know, they're trying to do different. And I'm like, why? And they're like, I'm like, there's always one.
There's always one. Yeah.
So I said, you know which one's going to win? The one that you feed the most.
Good, man.
If you starve that negative dog, if you starve that fear, I'm like, what are you listening to?
Yeah.
Who are you hanging around? What do you listen to on the way to work? That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worship music. Sometimes it's a podcast. Sometimes it's Metallica because I got to, get the day
in my
going.
workout, Metallica's my whole.
Yeah. So, it's just like, hey, starve the fear and feed the courage. That's really great.
That's good.
Really good.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to do number 6?
Let's do number 6.
Yeah. Number 6 is leaders have to be willing to go alone, but they can't stay alone. I thought about this as I've started some companies, and I remember even with the real estate company, I'm like, here we go. We're going for this. And I'm in this place where, I had someone ask me one time, like, because I didn't even have an office. He's like, where's your office? I said, I've got offices all over town. And they're like, really? I didn't realize that you were that big. I said, yeah, everywhere. I've got the Starbucks on Woodruff Road. I've got the Panera on Haywood Road and everything else. And you just go in there and you're like, yep, I'm all by myself. And I'm going to start doing some things. And you start getting some momentum and you start realizing that you need help and you need other people to join you and help you and have gifts and talents that you don't have to take it to another level. And I've also realized something too. If your vision is only big enough where you can accomplish it on your own, you are dreaming way too small. Because it's too small. If you can, are you the only one that can accomplish it? It's a small dream. Let's just
right.
Get out of my face.
It needs to be scary.
It needs to be scary, and needs to be, it needs to be something where I have to have others go with me on this in order for this to be successful. And I know you guys are growing and do great things here at Refine, but you're already noticing things right now that we're going to need other people. Because I know your vision for this is big. And I've been so excited watching you guys.
Yeah, you got in the front row seat.
It's the best thing. I love seeing people win, and y'all are winning on every level right now. And it's just like, but there's a reality is y'all will only be able to do so much, and there's going to be other people that's seeing the value that you're adding to the salon industry and other leaders and everything else. And there goes, I want to be a part of that. And they're going to have gifts and talents and things that y'all don't have that's going to take your organization to a complete other level. But you had to do it by yourself first.
Yeah.
You had to go first before others joined you. So
yeah, it's I'm definitely a team person. Just going independent, it was lonely.
It is lonely.
I was upstairs working out of my office, and I would come to the salon at 12, and I hear people say, "Oh, go be your own boss." We hear that a lot in our industry, and the going independent is like the best. And I'm just like, I think as humans we're built for community.
100%
we're built for community. And doing business with Christopher, with my wife, with Tony, with Ren, it's just way more enjoyable. It's it's way more powerful. It's a machine. Which before it was like just a little machine, and then now just the margin and and like Ren, who edits our podcast, she's using her gift. That's her purpose. It fills her up, that right there. We're just in the Refine Network. She's doing that. And then you got Tony, who's doing coaching with Christopher and Scale. That's her purpose. That's what fills her up. And that's what fills us up is people are finding their purpose.
And it's not only that. Y'all are in the business of adding value to people and helping people, right? And the larger your organization, because it's not about y'all, it's about how can we add value to other people. And your organization starts growing, that gives you more opportunity to add value to more people when you do that. And it's just important. That's why you got to have other people. When we did a real estate company, we wanted to be a different real estate company. I'm not throwing any real estate companies under the bus, but what I'm saying is if we're going to do this different and we're going to treat people how we want to be treated and everything else, the larger our company gets, the more value we can add to other people is what we're on to do.
Yeah, we tell people all the time we started this company not because we were bored or didn't have anything to do.
1,000%.
We did it because we wanted to serve. We saw a need where, hey, we're salon owners and there's a lot of coaching companies that are ran by not salon owners. And we're just like, look, I feel like we have a level where you can connect with people and be like, hey, I know what it's like to have a walkout.
Genuinely.
It hurts, but guess what? It gets better. I've never heard anybody say, yeah, I had a walkout and it just got worse. It's usually like, oh, finally. So, all right, number 7, last one.
The last one is this: is share the benefits of those that take the journey with you. It kind of goes along with growing the team, right, and have a larger team. One of the things, we had mentioned working at a church together. I'm not great at celebrating things because I'm always like, what's next? So it's just, I'm kind of jacked up that way. And I remember one time we had a huge win, and it was a Monday, we're meeting, and I'm like, okay, this is what the next 6 months looks like. And everything. Finally, someone looked at me and was like, can we just enjoy like what happened last week?
Man, yes.
I was like, you know what? You're right. But I said, you hold me accountable for that, or either you own that. We're going to enjoy a little bit because I'm kind of not wired that way right now. But what's really cool is even years later, man, I can get around some staff that we were on staff together. I was just there last week, and I saw some staff members I hadn't seen in years, and immediately went into it. Remember that? Remember how fun that was? Remember how, like, that guy's life that got changed? And that's just like, you know what? We all got to do this amazing thing together. And if it was just me doing it and I was getting all the benefits from it, it wouldn't be near as fun.
No.
And and your team here at Refine and everything else, they're going to remember these days. And as you go a little bit, it's like, remember when we did this? And not only does the organization benefit, but like you said, Evan, you nailed it here, is like they saw their purpose in the organization and you helped someone fulfill what their purpose is. And then that's one of the most gratifying things as a leader you'll ever see, is someone else winning that was on your leadership.
Yeah, that's legacy stuff.
That's legacy stuff.
And it goes the other way. You see people that are in the company that they're not fulfilling their purpose.
Yeah.
Like they look like they're miserable.
Yeah.
Like I look at that as, let's help you find that if it's outside the organization, because that's a win. Like our goal was not to like have as many employees at Refine. Our goal is like, hey, if you have a purpose and it fills the Refine network, great. If not, go do something else.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, too, people that go along with you on the early days, they've taken risks too.
Yep.
They deserve the benefits of your company's
absolutely
growth. Financially, all they deserve all of that because they helped you go there.
Yeah.
Help you get there.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you for bringing, people probably driving or working out. They're like, wait, I got to take notes.
Oh, they pulled over at this point for sure. You're driving. There's so much that we just shared. I mean, one of them you could put a quarter worth of time.
100%.
Right.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Man, I always love hanging out with you guys, and I love seeing what y'all are doing, adding value to people, and y'all just keep doing it.
So I talk about a lot of like, hey, if you're the leader, the owner of the company, you don't really have people mentoring you. You don't have people you can like go talk to that understand. David's that person for me. Like we get lunch together. We talk about things. He's a person in my life that's you just been a pillar in my life. And I say that because I'm not looking at you because I don't want to get emotional, but
well, you can cry.
God, I'm not going to cry, but like Christopher knows this. I was catching him up with you, and I was like, I don't think our kids would be in our house if it wasn't. Dang, edit this out, Ren.
No, Ren, keep that in there.
But our kid, I mean, like not only in leadership, what I learned from you working with you, but just personally. And you do get box seats to rock concerts, which is a pretty sweet gig.
That's not bad.
Oh, this is the same guy?
Yeah.
Not bad, is it?
I was like, I never want to go to a concert and sit like general admission or just.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I'm going to say this too, and y'all can include this if you want to or not, whatever. If you don't have someone like that in your life, you better get someone like that in your life.
1,000%.
And if it's the Refine Network or if it's whatever it is way too hard and your vision is way too big for you to be able to accomplish this on your own. You better have someone in your life that's going to encourage you, that's going to call you out, that's going to be there I had that conversation with a guy last night. I just mentioned that I just owned this company, and he said that, and I was like, you know what, man? If I can even speak one word of encouragement with 99 out of 100 people, I'm going to say this to you. I'm going to say that you can do this, because he was going to start something new. I was like, I believe in you. You can do this, because most people won't do that.
You gotta have those people.
You got to have those people in your life.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I was able to do that and provide you with concert tickets in a box. I think we're going again next month, by the way.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, David.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.